my channel. I'm Mr. Sagba, a lifestyle vlogger from Lagos, Nigeria. And if you're a returning subscriber, you guys, my heart belongs to you. And if you are a new subscriber, welcome to the family. On here, we have fun and we learn tips to help you navigate life. So guys, today I have a special guest. And I'm sure you guys are wondering, this is a bedroom chat. We're in the bedroom again. You are probably asking, okay, what is it with you and bedrooms? A lot of important things happen here. So guys, we're gonna have an interesting time today. So do me a favor, grab a pen, grab paper, and jot things down, because we're going to be talking about marriage, the most important institution in life, the one you never graduate from. So Yewi, introduce yourself to my viewers.
So my name is Yewande. I have known Ruke since high school, went to same secondary school. I am a brand manager. I manage a brand, an alcoholic brand in mainstream segments. I have a son, and I have a son. I'm married.
Alright, so you see, so there's something I've noticed though. What's the reason why, or how can you explain why many people get married and they stop sharing the challenges about marriage, trying to make it seem like they're in a perfect relationship? Now, don't get me wrong, I think all my friends are in great marriages, good marriages, but I just know that none of them are perfect, because we humans are not perfect. No relationship is perfect.
Absolutely.
So why do you think that some people stop sharing their challenges?
This is a very
With their friends who they've grown to trust over time, like they've known these people, they've shared their personal challenges with them, and then when it comes to marriage, it's like that one is off topic.
Okay. So there are plenty layers to this. This is a very heavy topic. So the first thing is your friend typically a sharer? So you need to often look at you can't group it. So I have always been a sharer. I have always been outspoken. Like even before marriage, I was someone who would have topics on sex. I don't like what's the big deal? What are we talking about that is too heavy? That's the person that I am. So you then need to take each individual and run them. I know I'm not a lot like some of my friends. I'm very different in the most interesting ways, and not in some ways. So first of all, their personality and who they are before they married. Second is the personality of their spouse. Now, if you marry a man who believes that whatever happens in our home stays in our home, you going to talk with your friend, no matter how great that bond is a breach of trust. Marriages are built on trust.
That's a good one.
And funny thing is, before you get married, you don't even know the topics that are out of bound until you enter. That's when you know that your husband does not want you to be discussing sexual position with your friends. You know that your husband does not want you to be talking about money or conflicts, or so. Sometimes these things are the truth is you can't predetermine, or no matter how hard you read, you can't really know what's up, because even the guy might not even know himself. The girl you're marrying at 25 or 26, or even they are matured 25, they're immature 40-year-olds. So we're all at different spectrums in our maturity, irrespective of our age. And so imagine two different people trying to figure themselves out, and then they get into marriage and stuff gets hot, and their personality. There are some people that they used to lie, and then they got married, they discover that they were liars. But there are some people that they didn't even know they were bad with money, and then maybe you guys have a joint account.
And then you're like,
you
wow,
take the money
because
and
there's
go
now
blow it.
more accountability.
You will now go and blow the money.
Like,
You will get home, you won't be able to talk now to blow. So different things, and so it's not cast in stone. And then the last part is different types of issues. Their relationships are for different purposes. So we often mix it up. you feel like, oh, this person is my friend, but look at it. For every single person that is your friend, there is a reason why. Otherwise, there are lots of people that went to secondary school together. Why don't you still talk to them? I'm just saying, relationships have different purposes. That's one. Then do you realize how disappointing it can be for someone to walk into something with a different perception and get there, and it's such a huge mess. And having to genuinely, so two things, they might not even have opened up genuinely to themselves like this is a problem, and having to voice that out to someone else that I'm having this problem. And oftentimes as Africans who are overachievers, we translate it into failure. So it is very hard for me to come and say, oh, I made a mistake on this, I messed up on this.
Alright, so I think this next one is in-laws, managing family relations in marriage. Because we are from, sometimes you're like marrying someone from an entirely different culture, they have different values, maybe family values, culture, social class, exactly, different upbringings. So it's like, how do you manage that? Like, maybe just give us like a personal experience story of how you've certain things you've had to deal with, things you've had to learn and unlearn to be able to promote peace and unity in your marriage.
Okay. So first I would say that I am a bit lucky with my in-laws. And that's because they are very understanding, and compared to some people's experiences, my in-laws are not intrusive. So they've allowed myself and my spouse to actually go in our relationship. However, this is because the truth is, when you have a child, the child, let them be 90, they're still a child. So whenever situations come up and I am starting to get confused, I put that thing I talk about, I put myself in person's shoes. And some of these things didn't get real to me until I had my son. And I think about myself in future as a woman. And then I do this. Am I treating my mother-in-law the way I want Muyo's wife to treat you? Am I treating my sister-in-law the way I want Muyo's wife's sister? You get, but Muyo's, you understand? Am I? And then just run it through. And then when you do that, you will see that you will extend grace. Another thing that I do is I share the same information. I don't make my parents feel like they are closer to our family than your in-laws. I also give the same access. Being fair. The truth is, at the end of the day, there is a child. If once a child comes in, you and your husband are irrelevant. Once you have a grandchild, you have a child for them. The child is not even for you. It's a family child. And their greatest joy is seeing that child, hearing about the child, seeing videos about. I am very intentional. I am very intentional about engaging both parents. If I say something about Muyo to my mom, I say the same thing to my mother-in-law. If I say something about Muyo to my sister, I say the same thing to my sister-in-law. If I send pictures of Muyo to my parents, I send the same thing to my in-laws. Balance. Very balance. Very important.
I really like what my friend said. Balance is key, and you have to be fair. Because I notice many people complain about their in-laws, but really, are you really treating your in-laws like you treat your own
I'm not saying there are no bad situations.
No, definitely there are bad situations. Yeah, there are bad situations, and there are situations where you probably have bad in-laws. But I think, those situations are most times out of our control. But the things that are within your own control, are you treating them? Like she said, she has to be very intentional to send the same things to them to make sure that they feel like they are both involved, in their grandchild's life. So are you really doing that before complaining that, oh, your mother-in-law treats like an outsider, or she treats her son better than she treats you? Are you really treating her like you treat your own mother?
Yes.
Are you treating your sister-in-laws like you treat your own sister? Yes. So make sure that you're doing your best on your own part to treat them equally, because that's what marriage is about, unity. We are now one. So they are practically your family too.
Yeah.
So the ones that are outside of our control, we just leave those ones to God, and we try to use wisdom.
Yes.
To address
you don't create strife.
Yeah, try not to create strife.
Also, first impression. Some girls, some ladies, and even some men, just because you're coming from the wealthier family, you get there. The way some people behave, you be like, what kind of food is this? It's small. Your house is too small. It's too dirty. It's too.
Or even if you're not even uttering those words, your
body
expression,
your body language
is saying all sorts.
Then one more thing. No matter how much you feel like they are your parents, they are still not your parents. And I will explain. There are certain things you will tell your mother and father that will pass as a joke. When you do the same in your in-laws, because you have different values, you might be disrespectful.
Definitely true.
So in the midst of creating balance,
wisdom.
Like there are some things I've told my dad before, like when we were fighting or something, I'll tell my dad that I belong to God. Yeah, because I can't go and tell my in-laws that their son belongs to God. They are just custodians.
Yeah.
My dad did get upset, but he would forgive. But today, it might be hard for them to move.
Like this girl is very disrespectful.
Because it would come as hurt and disrespect. So, balance. Again.
I really like what she said though. And I think another thing that you need to take note of is that as much as you are viewing them as your family too, your family has come to know you for how long?
Yeah.
So they know how to relate to you. They understand certain things that might be misconstrued by other people. So you just coming to say, oh, I normally push my mom like this, and I'm joking. And you're like, we are family too, and then you push your mother like this. But your mother-in-law is just getting to know you as much as you want to get her like your mom. Like, she's just getting to know you. She might not understand that, this child is very respectful, but this is how she plays, or this is how she, is with people that she's very familiar with. So, with wisdom, you have to, consider this as like, okay, I'm just getting to know this person, Now with time, maybe like after 5 years, she's like very comfortable.
5 years, your parents,
but it's still with wisdom.
You'll be tapping your mother-in-law like this.
There are actually some people that have gotten to that level of relationship with their mother-in-law. So with wisdom, know your mother-in-law, understand where the things that she values, her cultural beliefs and all of that, and yours, and adjust accordingly too,
So this is for both male and female, not just the wives.
Exactly. We are
don't make
we're talking from
your wife's parents feel slighted, disrespected, unwanted. Very important. Because the truth is, that emotional situation gets transferred to your spouse, and the girl that used to be very sweet with your mom can change.
Yeah, it might be a source of conflict in your own marriage too, because nobody wants their parents to be disrespected or treated badly, So, apply wisdom. Alright, so I think, that was a great one. So I think the final one that we're going to talk about...
Is there another one we should talk about before this one? This one is long.
This one is long.
It's long.
Okay, let's talk about children. So guys, let me tell you this. I used to always think that, for a long time, oh my gosh, I love kids, I love being around kids. Until I started helping people babysit. And then I started babysitting for extended hours, and I'm like, how are these people coping? Like, how do you have a toddler with you 24/7 and you've not lost your mind? And then I started to imagine all my friends in their 20s. I'm like, wait a minute, okay. This is you just doing this for how many days and you feel like you have lost it, and these people have to deal with this every single day of their lives for at least a few years. And so I'm asking you, like, as a young person in your 20s who still has a lot that they want to explore, like, how have you handled, managed the responsibilities of motherhood in your 20s?
I'm sure my expression says it all.
It's the grace of God.
It is a whole lot of work, man. And that's because there are different dynamics. I think the first part is what it does to your career. And for me, that's something you have to come to terms with when you make that decision. And this is something that doesn't just happen when I attend 30. Once you decide to get married and you decide you want to have children, your career will be affected. Especially during the early childhood years of the child, because you are constantly affected.
Yeah.
Like I said something like, I cannot just willingly decide I'm going on a staycation. There are some people that are very privileged to have, places where they can keep their children for long times. However, some people have access to short periods and they can't even take those privileges for granted.
Definitely.
Children are different. I think children, I'm sure I did my own fair share with my parents, but they were really created to test if you have the Holy Spirit to do it. And also the temperament of the child matters. I am high energy, so I can to some extent match the energy of my kid. My kid is extra high energy, extremely articulate. So sometimes I have to put my foot down. Sometimes I'm too tired and let him have his way. I'm not lying to you. And it is just not easy. It is not easy, and it takes the grace of God. It also takes a responsible partner to pick up the slack. Because it's not every day you'll be up to the task to pick up. What if you're having a hard time at work? You should be able to call your partner, oh babe, can you help out? And have a system. I am thankful to some relationships. I wouldn't disclose for confidentiality, but I am thankful to some relationships that I have because they make me have a life. For some people that can be a sibling, for some people that can be a friend, for some people that's your in-laws. But those relationships that allows you to say, my child can stay here for me, my child can stay here for 1 hour. You need to have that.
You need a support system.
Exactly, a support system to cope through it all. Like even when you give birth, after you give birth, you need people around, you need help. You need to, if you have the idea of when I get married, I'm not going to get help, you suffer. And I don't mean living maid or like you need people around you to help you through the process, because one, it's uncharted territory, you've never done it before. And so you need to be open to taking good guidance and bring out the best for from yourself. And oftentimes your children are a mirror of who you are, especially when you interact with them. If you're impatient with them, they'll be impatient. If you are abrupt with them, they'll be abrupt. If you're decisive, you'll find that your children are very decisive in their wants. If you are very clear and saying, no, you cannot have that. If they want something, please, can I have that? So, and then, sometimes you might be doing it right, sometimes you're doing it wrong. So you need to open up yourself and be able to listen to counsel. When you take counsel, again, A and B testing, you wait. Is this what I want? Do I like the outcome? Yeah. And also like schooling, education, a lot of factors. Some of these things you need to talk about before marriage. Some it is during marriage, what school your child goes to, not necessarily even the school, but the values. So we made a decision regarding our child's school because of the behaviors we saw in children that went to the same school. And I'm like, I want my child to have this kind of behavior. So you need to, are your decisions on educating your child, is it based on money? Is it based on networking? Is it based on connections? Because those relationships are lifelong. A lot of relationships you benefit from sometimes are people that you've known way back. Like you've known ourselves how many years now?
2005, 6.
Long
time.
15 years.
Wow.
Oh my god, that's so old. So like that. So yeah, definitely not easy, but definitely worth it, because it's such a huge investment to have a life that you sort of guide, manage, stressful but joyful.
So I think really she made a lot of great points. The first one, you have to marry a very supportive spouse, because having a child is a lot of responsibility. It doesn't even matter the age at which you have that child. So have a supportive spouse, pick a supportive spouse, and also have a support system. And I think something I would like to touch on though is because when we're young, we make a lot of decisions without considering the consequences. Like a lot of us are at this stage where it's like we want to move to a new country, we want to move to a new state.
That's so much harder.
It's harder. So I'm not saying that you shouldn't do that, but these are things you need to weigh. Like, okay, I'm moving to a new country.
That means you have to have a responsible
You have to have a responsive spouse.
A lot of money for daycare. And even daycare closes after some time.
Closes after some time. So do you need to start establishing relationships with people that can serve as your support system? Do you need to move to a place that's closer to where you have a support system? So these are things you need to consider to manage the stress that comes with motherhood, at any time, really, not even only in your 20s. So I guess, it's just something that we need to consider, especially as young people who are still building their career. Like my friend said, it's going to affect you somehow, some way. So you just need to learn to manage it so that the effects are not too deleterious or too harmful. Yeah.
And please, with sex, money, whatever, there is nothing that God cannot do. So, I talked about you doing what you need to do, but there is nothing that you don't take to God about your marriage that is not a burden for you. You know why? Because marriage is an institution created by God. You get, so in his institution, he has laws. You call him that Baba God come. This thing not the work. Solve them. And he shows up. So for me, those are like the basics, and all the other details are in the video, guys. Please watch, learn, share, and also comment, share your thoughts. Do you agree? You don't agree? What has your experience been? Has it been different? Is there anything that resonates with you? Share. You never know. She might be inviting me back for a part 2, but at a cost. At a cost.
I like that. So you see, guys, I'm blessed with friends who have a lot of wisdom. So hopefully I'm going to be coming into marriage armed. And that's what I want you guys to also have, because they have a lot of experience, they have a lot of knowledge, and some of them are also willing to share both the pros and the cons and how they've been able to, maneuver certain situations and handle certain issues that they've experienced in their marriage. So I hope you guys really learned a lot from this episode. And if you found, like my friend said, if anything resonated with you, you found anything interesting or something you think you disagree with or agree with, drop it in the comment section. And please don't forget to subscribe. Alright guys, see you next time. Bye.